Okay, so once again, good morning, everyone. Let me inform you that the recording is started. Welcome to the euROBIN Infoday. My name is Magdalena Bromboszcz, and let me introduce our today's speaker, Aneta Gałązka. She will guide us today through the euROBIN open call requirements and answer all of your questions. Enjoy the session, and Aneta, I think you can start. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Welcome. This is actually the second session for the euROBIN. First open call for collaborative projects and third open call for technology exchange program. So last year we discussed the very general information about these open calls, and today I will remind again the basics, but also we are happy to listen to your questions and solve your doubts later. Okay, so we can start. The euROBIN open calls, because we have two open calls to which you can start applying, started last year, 20th of November, and the deadline is 19th of February at 5 p.m. 2025. And what is important, don't wait until the last moment if you want to apply, because anything can happen. So if you want to submit your application, don't wait until the last moment. In general, what is the euROBIN? euROBIN is the network of excellence that brings together European expertise on robotics and artificial intelligence, and we will establish the unified pan-European platform for research and development. For our two open calls, we are looking for the companies of any size, research organization, and academia research institution. They need to be registered before the start of the open call, so the 20th of November. Registered means established in the National Companies Register. And what kind of support we offer in those two open calls? In the Technology Exchange Program, this is our third open call, and we can find here 9 beneficiaries for the duration 3 to 12 months, and the grant is 60K, stage 1 4K, and 56 is the implementation phase, which is the stage 2. Proposals should be here submitted by the researchers, PhD students, so they are who are endorsed by the organization they belong to. So they belong to the research organization or academia, or they are just in some company. And in the Technology Exchange Program, the euROBIN partners will be responsible for hosting researchers delegated by the applicant, who will define jointly the details of the process and integrate and validate method hardware on the robot platforms, so they can have the hosting institution during the stay. The second open call is for collaborative projects, and here we can fund a little bit more, so the 12 beneficiaries. Duration of the program is the same, so between 3 and 12 months. We have also 2 stages, but the plan phase is up to 8K and 52 for the stage second. And here in collaborative projects, depending on the project, of course, the euROBIN partners may host researchers delegated by the applicant, or the validation of the outcomes may take place at the beneficiaries' own facilities. A short description of the evaluation process. So after you submit the proposals, we will check if your proposal is eligible. What are the eligible criteria? We have them in our guide for applicants. So they are mainly about if the institution is what I already discussed, so company, research organization, or academia, and the countries which are eligible in the Horizon Europe program. Then we have the in-out scope screening. So our experts, they are checking if the proposal has the general scope of the euROBIN program. Then we have the independent individual evaluation, and what is the difference between this open call and the collaborative project is that in collaborative projects we have one more phase, which is the jury day. And after that, we have the formal check of the documents, then ethics check, and the subgrant agreements can be signed. So how to apply? This is the website, the microsite for the application. What you can find here is the information about the deadline, and also if you check the documents. So you have documents for the third open call, for the collaborative projects. You have information for the Infoday. So, for example, a recording from today will be uploaded there. You can check the help desk, the website, and our social media. The two buttons, this navy blue in the middle, they are the buttons to apply for the open call. So depending which one would you like to apply, you choose the button to apply. So this is what I said before. We have documents here, application here. And what is very important, if you go to the documents, you can see all the documents inside. So guide for applicants. So you can find there all of the information. Who are we looking for? The eligibility criteria, the evaluation phase, each evaluation phase described in details. We have also frequently asked questions. And we have the challenges. So this is what I will inform you now. For each open call, our euROBIN partners prepared challenges to be solved, to be answered. So you don't only apply to the specific open call, but you apply to the specific challenge. So your application should have information how to solve this specific challenge, and I will show you in a moment that you also choose it in an application form. So this is very important document because we also check it during the in-out scope screening phase. So if in your application there is no information about the specific challenge, how you will solve this challenge, this application will be out of scope. Here you have the deadline, and this is how the application looks like. You start a new application, you can add a contributor, so the people who will be working on this application. And this is what I said before in the project section. This is from the technology exchange program. You have the list of challenges. You select the most relevant to your project, only one. So you cannot solve all of the challenges, you choose only one. And then the whole application is somehow in relation to this challenge. And then we have the sections related to the evaluation. So we have excellence, we ask you for ambition, innovation, soundness of the approach, credibility, impact. In the collaborative projects, we ask for the technology maturity increase, generalizability, scalability, applicability, competition, environmental and social impact, and then for technology transferability. In the implementation section, we ask you for the general information about the team who will be working on the project, your human resources, and the general project plan. If you have some questions during writing your application, you can always ask us on help desk. So you can ask via Discord. We also on Discord include some relevant information, like for example about this Infoday, or via email. If the question is more technical, then we ask the specific partner. Because if you go to the challenges description, each challenge, you have information that the possible hosting partner is, and here is the name of the possible hosting partner. So if you have the question about the specific challenge, then we ask the specific partner, and then we answer your question. Of course, we ask you to join our social media. You can find them on the right side. And this is all when it comes to the general information. So now we can start the Q&A session. Thank you very much. You can ask questions like in a chat. You can raise your hand and we will give you the voice. Okay, I see Yuri. You have raised your hand. You can unmute yourself. Yuri, you are now muted, so we cannot hear you. Okay, now you are not muted, but we still don't hear you. You can write also the question in your chat if you have problems. In the meantime, I will check because we have some questions on the chat. Is consortium allowed in collaborative projects? No, in both of the open calls, we are looking for only the individual entities. Of course, you can have some subcontracting, but subcontracting is like 7% of the total grant, so it's not so much. So we are looking for only individual entities. I have a curiosity regarding the EuroCore. To me, it's not clear what we will find inside this repo and if it's already available. EuroCore will be available. I mean, it's available now, but we will upload there some information very soon. So more technical information, but we need a few more weeks to upload there. Where the projects requires using software, is it safe to assume we get support from the developers? You will work with the technical hosting partners. Of course, during the planning phase, you will have a discussion what kind of support you can receive from them. Of course, it depends on the challenge, on the project. Yeah, I see Yuri has still the hands raised, but we cannot hear you. I'm sorry. Thank you for presentation. I have a question with regard to the possible content of the proposal. We would like to apply for the challenge 13 object properties estimation via parallel simulation. Could the following project idea be funded? Okay, so can you please send the email to the email I already shown? I will share it again in a moment because I need to send this question to the proper technical hosting partner from this institution. They can generally said that this is in scope or out of scope, but of course they will not guide you how to make it. Is it required to translate to English? Yes, the eligibility criteria is to be in English. Okay, so if you we have this question as it does not directly fall into the description of challenge 13. So if now you see that it doesn't rely to the challenge number 13, so probably this is out of scope. We can ask, but probably it will be out of scope because the challenge you apply to, it's very important. It's the part of the in-out scope check, and it has to be related to the challenge. We have more questions. Could you explain again what are the roles, expectations of the researchers of the applicant company in the case of collaborative project? So depending on the project, you can be hosted by this partner, or you can work on your project idea in your facility. So depending on the project, depending on the hosting partner, depending on the planning phase, you will use this grant, so 60K, for preparation of the solution for the collaborative projects. You will collaborate with the hosting institution, but the term hosting, it really depends what you will agree on. This is not compulsory to be hosted. You can make it in your own facilities. So it really depends on the challenge, on the partner. Inside the application form, collaborative project, section excellence, there is the question, if your technology consists of software, could you link existing software repository and its documentation? Is it possible to develop software during the project? In this case, the repo could not be already, yeah, sure. So if this is not already available, that's fine. Unfortunately, the answer is the same, so depending on the challenge. So, but yes, software can be developed. How many team members in the project are recommended? We don't have those recommendations. But if you use, you need to remember that we have stages. So we have 3 stages of the project, and you need to use the personnel manuals for the work of those people. So you need to wisely think how many people you need, pay them from the grant. So grant is 60K. So you need to think how to pay them from the grant, how much personnel manuals you need for the project. So it really depends on you. And what is the rate of the personnel man for you? Okay, we are still waiting for your questions. We will wait 2 more minutes. If there are no more questions, we will close the meeting. Okay, I see then another one. Are they required visiting to the partner organization, or this project must be accomplished by the project team? In the technology exchange program, this is required, but of course, you can be hosted 1 week, 1 month, for 1 year, depending on the needs. In the collaborative projects, it's not required. You can work in your own facilities, but of course, some of the partners, maybe they want you to come. It depends how you will plan it with them. Always in the excellence section, there is this part innovation. Tell us what extent will you, sorry, because it disappeared. Will you be able to develop the solution by applying the tools and services proposed by euROBIN? What do you mean by tools and services? Yes, we mean EuroCore. Could you please explain what is meant by applicants who will be delegate a group of researchers, PhD students that are endorsed by the organization they belong to work at, to work in a laboratory for the tech exchange, how the endorsement will place? So applicants, so to be the applicant, you have to be either company or research organization or academia. And those organizations, those entities, will delegate of group of researchers or PhD students. So applicant is the eligibility criteria, but from the specific entity, from the university, from the research organization, the PhD students and researchers can be delegate. Is the lab supposed to be owned by the company? So for tech program, as I said before, you can be hosted by the technical hosting partners, depending on the needs. It can be 1 month or 1 year. But if you have some lab and it's rented, it doesn't need to be owned by you, if that was the question. Would it be acceptable for academic from university to be the sole applicant, but then mention the overall laboratory in the team section? So the applicant in that way, it will be university, and inside the application, in the team, you need to include information about the researcher, PhD student, one or more, who will work on the project. If you want to include the overall laboratory, like all of the people, please remember then that in the individual follow-up plan, so the planning phase, you also need to include those people somehow, that they will work. So they need to be either paid by the personal months or by subcontracting. But if you want to include them, so they will work on the solution, it means that you need to include them also in the planning phase. If you have to share the new technologies discovered on the repository, this means that your patent will be disclosed, no secrets on your own product. Regarding IP, you can check some information in the guide for applicants or in the sub-grant agreement template, which will be next week shared on the website. It will be only template, but you can find all of the information on IP, but it doesn't mean that there are no secrets. Also, IP belongs to you, so only results will be shared on EuROCore, but in general, IP belongs to you. Can the team that works on the solution change in the future? Yeah, anything can happen, of course. So we have such situation that people who were in the application, they are not working on the solution because they change the work. But of course, the person who will work, they need to have similar qualification. So then the partner and our selection committee is checking if this person is similar when it comes to the qualifications. But of course, it can change. Is it possible to have participate both in first and third open calls? Yes, you can apply to both of them, but you can be funded only once. So one company, one entity can be funded in the whole euROBIN only once. So also, if by any chance you are the beneficiary of the first or second open call of euROBIN, you cannot receive the grant. So you can apply to the first collaborative project, but you will be funded only once. Yes. I understood that the Eurocore repository is already available, but the more technical info will be released in a few weeks, as it is possible. Also, it is possible to have a link to the repository. Maybe after this meeting, Magdalena, when she share with you the things, we will also share with you the link to this repository. But now it's not so much information there. Okay. So we are still, yes, so you will receive email from us. We have your emails because to join this meeting, you had to include your email. So we have your emails we will share with you.
Okay, I don't see any more questions. We will wait maybe 2 more minutes, but in the meantime, I would like to also remind you that the deadline for submitting application is set for 19th of February. So please remember that date.
I will also add that if you have technical questions, ask them as soon as possible because we need to contact the partner. Sometimes they are on holiday or they need a few days to reply to us. So it may happen that we need even 5-6 days to reply you. So please send it as soon as possible so that there is no lack in the communication. And maybe I will share again the screen with the information. This is our email address. So if you have any additional questions, please feel free to contact us by this email address. For the technical questions, can we also contact directly the partner institution? No, because if you want to contact, DLR, So if you ask general email for DLR, they have thousands of people working there. So they even don't know that some of the departments, they are in such a project. So if you ask by this email, I send it to the proper person who is working on this challenge, and then it is confirmed that you will receive answer. Because if you contact the general institution, I cannot tell you that you will receive answer. Even I can tell you you will not, because this is general contactors. I think, Magdalena, we can close the meeting. Thank you very much for very nice questions. And yes, please remember about submitting application, not wait until the last moment. Ask via email if you come up with some questions. And I think that is all. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Good luck with your application. And thank you so much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.